Hi Flosstube! This is Bree with Bree's Stitchin' Stuff, and it's Flosstube number 2. It's February 12th, 2020. It's a Wednesday. I just wanted to do a little quick update. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing my videos weekly or if I'm going to switch it up. I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of stitching, so I don't know how much I really have to show you. But yeah, I want to say thank you guys. I have 60 subscribers already, which is amazing. I don't know, I guess I just didn't really know that anybody would watch. I guess every Flosstuber says that, but I'm not real prominent in the cross-stitch community, so I didn't think that many people would follow me. But thank you so much for subscribing and coming back. Share so more people subscribe. I plan on doing a giveaway for when I reach 100 subscribers. I hit 60 today, so I'm almost there. I'm excited. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my cross-stitch stuff and my plans for this week, month, year, kind of everything. So I'm going to start with some previously finished projects that I did. So I'm sure you guys have all seen this. Let's see. The Prairie Schooler, Where the Bees Are. I did the two littles and the big chart. I finished it last year in July. So this is what I did with the big chart, and I did it on 18 count Aida, just in the white, and then I used the all called for DMC colors, which I just thought was absolutely beautiful. I used a tobacco basket I found at Hobby Lobby. I attached the stitching to a sticky board, and then this is just some fabric that I tore and bunched up Priscilla's normal way that she does her finishes with her ruffles and stuff like that. And then this is just some greenery stuff and a bow, and then some more at the bottom. I just have a little shelf by my front door that I put this up on. I think this is like my favorite finished piece that I've done to date. I just love it. I think it's beautiful. It's stitched up really nicely, and it was at the beginning of my like stitching, and I just thought it turned out really good. So, and then so this is my little my bowl that I have that I was telling you guys about last week, and I have corks, wine corks in here, and then I just took some styrofoam balls and wrapped it in it's that like fringe yarn that you can get for, I don't know what you do with it. I guess you add it into your blankets or your scarves or something, and then just some yarn on this one. And I found this super cute button. I think I found it at Hobby Lobby at Christmas time. So here's Where the Bees Are, the one of the smalls for that. And then the other one. And this one is from a book I'll show you guys in a minute that I got from and this was on, I think this one's on 14 count Aida. It was just like a piece I had found at Goodwill. I found like a whole tube of 14 count Aida for like $1, and I coffee tea dyed it and just kind of use it for like little random pieces that I wanted to work on. And these are also the 18 count Aida, so I thought that's cute. And this sits just like on the side table by our couch. So those are my previously finished. I didn't do a whole lot this week whip wise. I did finish up my I didn't finish up my what is it, my plant one. I am behind, so I'm down one plant, so I have to do one more, and then there's another one coming out tomorrow. Sorry, there's like a string, but I'm trying to think where I was at. I finished up that one, and then I started that one. Yeah. I love this sale. This has been really fun. It's really fun. So that was one of my whips. And then, I'm trying to think. I did not get any more done on my Quaker Friends and Family sale. I didn't even work on it at all. And then, yeah, so that was my whip. That's all I worked on, really. I had 2 finishes, though, which were part of my whip. So my sister-in-law, her favorite saying is, I can't even. So I'm going to send this to her. So if she watches this, she's going to see it. But I just charted it up and did it myself. But I just thought it would be cute for on her little desk while she's working. So this was one of those, like, it had like a saying on the front. I found it at Hobby Lobby and it was in the clearance section. It was like $1.25 or something like that. And I painted it and sanded it down a little bit, and then added a bow with a button. And I added a little bit of the pom-poms to the side. And this is on sticky board. And then this is the 14 count Ada that I coffee tea dyed. But yeah, I just thought it was a cute little I'm thinking of you type thing. So I finished that one. So that's one finish. And then I finished Tired Trio by Plum Street Samplers. I love it. I think it turned out super cute. So then you just hang it. I'm really excited. I literally finished this last night and put it all together this morning. But yeah, I think it turned out so cute. Look at they look like little beads. Oh, I love big, full, puffy stitches. They're my favorite thing. So this I found, this is what it looks like. So I have one more of the stacked animal patterns that I'm going to do. So I got an extra one. So this is what it looked like. It was on the clearance for $1.24. And it's like tin or metal. And it has like a little hanger on the back. So I just removed the ribbon that came on it. And then I just hot glued my piece onto that, and that's on sticky board. And then I hot glued it onto this. So that's how I did that. Super easy, quick finish. And then you can just hang it up on your wall. So yeah, I got 2 finishes this week. I'm so excited. So when I stitch, I always have a finish in mind for my stitching projects that I do. So as soon as I'm done stitching it, I finish it. I fully finish it. So that's done. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have, you know, under the bed cabinet, you know, like some people have that has all their finishes on it. I just fully finish it and get it done. I started off as a pretty monogamous stitcher. Like I would start something, finish it, and then fully finish it. And I started adding in extra pieces because it's kind of boring to do it that way. But I still love fully finishing every piece that I do once it's done stitching. So that's kind of what I've been doing. And then my plans for this year. Erin at 2 Martini Stitcher is doing the Long Dog Leap Day sale. It's the hashtag. Basically, you get a long dog sampler and you stitch on it starting February 29th. And then you have until the next leap year to finish it. So you have 4 years to finish your long dog sampler. Anyone you want. There's really no rules. But I printed out for I have a binder that I put all my notes in. So I printed this out, and then that way I have it, and then I can put down like when I work on it, and that kind of thing. And then I'll put my title on it. The one I haven't gotten it yet. I just placed an order for it. Let me show you the picture though. I think it's called, can you see it? Like Quilt something by Long Dog Sampler. I found it at 123 Stitch. I don't know if I'm going to stick with all the colors on it. It's a little too, I don't even know. I like fall, but my house isn't really fall-y. So I think I want to change up some of the colors just a little bit, just so that it's not so fall looking to me. I'm a quilter. That is like my passion, what I love to do, and I thought that one was just really cool. And it's not huge. It's like 130 by 2 something. So it's not huge. So I'm thinking I'll be able to get it in 4 years done. Hopefully sooner than that, because it's a really pretty pattern and I'd like to have it up. So that's one of my plans. And then my second plan for the year is Stitch 10 and 20 with Michelle at FarmGirl. So you have a whole year to finish 10 projects. So this is what I am going to work on this year. And there's really no rules with it. She said you can do quilts, cross-stitch patterns, whatever. So some of these I have already started and I just really want to get them finished. So I'm going to go through those real quick with you. So there's a couple that you guys saw last week, but I'm going to go over it. So this is on my Stitch 10 and 20. And these aren't in any particular order, it's just whatever I feel like working on. Work on it, try to finish it. And then my Mother's Day, which I did order everything for this already, so I should be getting it next week. And I'll be able to start that. So that's 2 of my 10. 3 of my 10 is Night Walk Down Blue Flower by the Blue Flower. I've decided I need to get this done this year. So I'm going to do it. That is my goal. I'm going to finish it this year. And I showed you guys last week. I had started that one already. I haven't gotten very far on it, but. And then Jardin Privé, the ABC one, the long sampler. This is number 4 on my stitch 10. So I did not work on that one this week at all. I was trying to get caught up on my plant sale, and I really wanted to finish the Tired Trio. I have a hard time letting things sit, not finished, especially small things like that, because it's like, why am I not finished with it? So this one's actually a gift, but I'm going to go ahead and show it anyways because I have to get it done this year. I'm sure you guys have seen it online. I know Vonna worked on this and finished it too, I think last year. So it's Jesus by Vera. Baco. I don't know, it was a kit from Hobby Lobby. And I started this last year. This is like my first like confetti type of stitching ever. I've never done it before. And it's actually pretty tough. So this is where I got last year. So I definitely had to grit it because it was the only way I could keep track. And there's a few things up in the top of it that aren't exact, but I think with it being the hair and the thorns, that it's not as noticeable. But like his eyes are starting to come together really, really well. So I think the biggest part I think on this one is to make sure like the eyes and the nose and the mouth look pretty accurate, so then it won't look as off. That's part of a nostril. So I've gotten pretty far in that. I'm pretty impressed. And it looks like a 14 count Ada that came with the kit. And then you get whatever threads they have with it. So that one's a hard stitch. It's hard. You really have to pay attention to what you're doing. I have to stitch it at my dining room table and then do a couple stitches and mark them off. I don't usually mark off my stitches on my charts. I will never do this one again because it is too big and too hard. So I just started marking off on the chart every stitch that I do, just to make sure I keep in track of where I'm at, because all the colors are very similar. There's I think like 9 colors, and they're all, I mean, it's like a sepia tone, so they're all really, really close. It's like a gradient of color, so they're really close in color. So I don't know, it's really hard. So this is another one on my stitch 10. It's by the Blue Flower, Mermaid's Garden. I love mermaids, and I had to get this, and I do love to read. So it says, if you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need. I don't know, I don't love these little, like, I think they're seahorses down here. I don't love them, so I might leave those off. So this is the chart that I was telling you guys last week where I tried to do, use Lugana. So this is limestone, 32 count, Lugana. I don't remember who made it, but that's where I've gotten so far on it. And I do love it. I mean, it is a lot more sheer, you can see through it, than the Adas. But it's pretty, you know, it's a good, like the weave. I like how the weave is. It's pretty, you know, tight and consistent. But yeah, look at that pretty flower. I love seeing my stitching get better every time I'm stitching. I think it's like the best part of cross stitching is watching your progression of your skill. It's just amazing. That one is awesome. I'm using so it calls for pretty much all gentle art. There's a couple classic colorworks and weeks. I'm doing the DMC conversion that's on the back of the chart. There's a whole list of the DMC. And I think there was a couple that were a little off, so I think I switched to some of them, but mostly I just stuck with or they didn't have the exact one at the store when I went to get it. So I'm doing the DMC conversion. So it's 135 by 132, but it's a fun stitch. It's a really nice pattern. The Blue Flower has really nice patterns. I really, really like their patterns. Alrighty. And then my last cross stitch that I'm going to work on in 2020 is A Good Marriage by Lizzie and Kate. I just thought it was really cute. So this one actually came with a bunch of the flosses for it. So that is nice. I am not sure what I'm going to stitch it on yet. It's 110 by 195. It calls for 32 count linen. So I might do a 32 count Lugana for it. But yeah, so that's my last cross stitch for the stitch 10. And then I have 2 quilts that I'm going to work on. Hang on, I need a little tea. I won this on a drawing for Javagirlstitches and DotDotGoose on Facebook. Join their Facebook group, it's really fun. But they had a, like a drawing, and I won it. I've never won anything before in my whole entire life. I was so excited. So yeah, it says thankful. Redone. Love it. Alright, so the quilts that I'm working on for my stitch 10 are big. So the first one I want to work on is, it was a stitch along back in 2010, I believe, at my local quilt shop when we lived out in another town, and there was a quilt shop out there. They're not there anymore, they closed. But every month you would get the pattern, the story, and then the fabric for it. And so then every month you were supposed to cut and piece and then finish it. And then by the 12th month, you have the full top. I didn't do that. My daughter was only a year old when I got these patterns. So I just wasn't there. So this is what the final piece will look like. It's called the Women of Courage. So, every month there's a different woman. I'll just show you one of them because there's 12 blocks in it, or 12 different ones. So I'm going to show you real quick just one of them just to kind of show you what it's about. So this was month 5. So this was, you got this. So it showed you the finished picture. Well, now what's nice about it is, so you can see here, Maud Finch was the woman. Oops, I'm so bad at this. Maud Finch is the woman for this month. So then what they did was, which I thought was super cool, they included, here it is, a picture of the woman for the month, and then all the information about her and what she did and how she was an influence in the world. So it's been really neat because then every month you can kind of learn something new. I wasn't very good at school. I didn't really enjoy like history and anything like that. So as I've gotten older, that stuff has really been interesting to me. So this is my longest standing project for a quilt that I have not finished. And I don't know why. No, I do know why. It is very tedious. There is a ton of small pieces that you have to cut and stitch together. And there's a lot. Like, it's hard. And I'm really good at quilting. Like, that is my thing. I have no qualms about saying I'm good at it, because I know I am. But, I mean, there's a lot. And another thing, I don't know if I love the fabrics. And I think that's part of the problem as to why I haven't really worked on it. But I have to get this done. Like, this has to be done this year. I don't care anymore. I'm just going to get it done and do it. So, Women of Courage. I don't even know if it's out in the world anywhere. I haven't looked. It was so old that I hadn't even bothered. On here it says Common Threads Quilting. So you can kind of look and see if there's anything on there about that. I don't know. I haven't looked. It's an old one. And then my last stitch and 10 that I'm going to do is the Barn Block Recipes. So this was from a Sew Sampler box through Fat Quarter Shop. I used to get their Sew Sampler box every month. And it was just a subscription box that had quilt patterns, quilt notions, fabrics, all that kind of stuff. I stopped just because it ended up being like $30 a month, which isn't bad. But I was starting to get like repeats of a lot of the notions. And I've only done a few of the projects. So I have all this fabric sitting there and all these patterns that I haven't gotten to, and I don't know if I will. And then I started cross-stitching, so I needed to switch my monies around so that I have more money for cross-stitching. So there is 12 patterns for this. So it was each month you got a different block. And then when you put it all together, there's these little star cornerstones that you'll have to add in, and then sashing. So I got a few things done. I got, I think, 3 of them, but they're really cute. And again, these ones are pretty, like this part, oops, hang on. This part is pretty simple, like the door and the tops. It's pretty much the same in every one, but this block is different on every one. Here's that one. And then this one. So that's all that I've gotten so far. I keep my projects for quilting in these kind of like Rubbermaid bins. So all the fabric's in here. And then I just kind of keep the blocks with the patterns every month. So those are my Stitch 10 that I'm going to do this year. I'm so excited. I'm glad that I was watching Michelle's video and she was talking about it. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm totally going to get on the board with getting stuff done because it's driving me crazy that I don't have things done. I had a little haul, nothing exciting because I knew I had to get stuff for the Long Dog sampler one, and then I wanted to get stuff for my 2020 sampler. So I knew I only had so much money to spend, so I didn't really get much. But I did order this. I ordered this, I think, last time, and I forgot to show you guys. And a forest screw. Erin at Two Martini Stitcher, and I can't remember who else is doing a sale for this starting on Arbor Day. It is beautiful. I love it. And there's a ton of like smalls in here too. It's an awesome pattern, and I think I got it on 1 2 Stitch, and it wasn't too much money either. But there's several, like there's a needle book, a pin pillow, I think there's like 2 or 3 different smaller samplers that you can do. And so it's definitely worth the money, and it's beautiful. Like I could see just taking a couple of the trees and making some small pillows and throwing them in my bin. So that was my one little thing I got. And then we have a thrift store in the next town over, and it's like an old house, it's downtown, and they just have a bunch of stuff in there. It's through, I think, a church or something, and all the proceeds go to the church and like a halfway house, I think, or something. But I go in there every once in a while just to see. But they have like a whole room in there, one of the old bedrooms, and they have like pillows and craft stuff and all that, just like kind of like random stuff they throw in there. So they had a bin with cross-stitch stuff. Well, so I went through that and I sat there, and I didn't find a whole lot, but I did find these 2 pattern books. And they're old, but, so this one, it's neat country stuff. I don't know. It was designed by Sandra Sullivan. I don't even know if she still designs, if this is still out there. This one is from, I don't remember, 1995. But this is where I got the bird in my pillow that I did. But I don't know, this still seems like patterns that I see now. I mean, it's very prim, so like, it's a very classic pattern book. I mean, even though it's from 95, it still holds true. So I thought that was really cute. So I had to get it, because I'm like, I can figure out, I can do a couple of them. The little beehive is super cute. I'll probably do that too. So I got that. And then this one is the Best Collection by Leisure Arts. And this was 1989. So these blue and white things, I don't even know what you'd call them, dishes or whatever, I love them. I want some. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, these are so stinking cute. I haven't stitched any of these yet, but... And so there was no prices on it when I went to the register. And she's like, oh, that's all you're going to get? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, do you have a quarter? She only charged me a quarter for these 2. And I was like, oh, cool. So that was my haul. I did have a question in my comments in my last video about my stand. So I'm going to show it just a little bit right now. So this is the Kay's Creation. I ordered it on Amazon, and in my last video I replied to the comment with a link to it. I love it. So when you get it, all this is taken apart and it's in like a flatter box, and then you just put together, but it's real simple. These are just, you can loosen them up and move the angle on both of these, so you can change the angle. So depending on if you're, you know, sitting with on your lap or on the table, you can change the angle so that it's in the right position for yourself. And then this one moves where your hoop will be, or your Q-snap. And it does accommodate a hoop or a Q-snap. I've used both. I am very stingy with my fabric, so I don't have a lot of extra fabric when I stitch, so I tend to use hoops because the Q-snaps use up a lot more fabric, you know, to wrap around, which is fine. I'm just super stingy on my fabric because money. So you take your hoop with your project in it, and you place it in between this clamp. Hang on, this is all like loose now, hang on. Okay, so you put it in this clamp, and then you tighten it. You go like that. And then this, you, depending on how big of a hoop or a Q-snap you are, sometimes you have to loosen this up so that it opens up more. And then so just holds it in there. You can see the little, and once, I mean, it's not real tight right now. Once your fabric's in there, and it holds it really still. I don't have any fabric on it, so, but it just sits in there, and then you can stitch like that. And then while you're stitching, you change, you know, you can stitch like this, and then you can go like that to get to the back of your project to do however you finish off your threads, or however you begin your threads. I mean, it's real simple. It's literally just a, and then what I do, I put my little needle minder right here. Hang on. There's a screw here. And so then I just put the back of the needle minder there, just so I don't lose it. And then I put my needle minder right on it. And then my needle can stick right there. I don't have a ton of needles, so I kind of have to use my needles for multiple projects. So it's nice just keeping it on my stand, because I use my stand for everything. And then there's a little lip here that I put, when I'm stitching, I put my scissors and my seam ripper in here. And then my, the yarn thing that I use on my finger, I put in here. And then it keeps it from falling. I will say, I love this, but when you're stitching, so I stitch with it on my lap and I sit on my couch. I do have to put, so I stitch with my left hand under my hoop. I do have to put a pillow under my left elbow just to give it the support. I'm tall, so I don't know, just the way I sit in my couch, I guess, maybe. I need that support on my left arm to keep it up, so I'm not like holding it up the whole time I'm stitching. So I would say if you're going to do it on your lap, for sure, figure out what angle works best for you. Really play around with these side ones. And then even this too, when you, depending on the light, I have to change how I have my hoop angle so I can see the holes better. And then you can do it on the table. My kitchen table is pretty high, so it's, or my dining table is pretty high, so it's kind of uncomfortable to stitch too long on it with this, just because it's high. But yeah, I think there was, yesterday when I looked, there was some more, because I guess they sold out the other day on Amazon, but there were some more. But even if you look up, I'll put a link down below, Kay's Creation, and they have tons of different kind of frames that you can get. But I'm loving it. And there was some mixed reviews. Some people's came where like this stuff was cracked. Mine came in perfect condition. So I don't know, I guess it's just a hit or miss type of thing. So yeah, that's my stand. I just wanted to touch base on that for the comment before. And I think that's it. I was just checking my notes to make sure there wasn't anything else. Nothing's really going on here in the world of my life. It's going to be cold this week here in Illinois for just like 2 days, and it's going to get warm again. So just kind of getting ready for the cold, I guess, and then working on my stitching. But I'm super excited. to have started the Flosstube and to be part of the community of all of you guys. And I honestly can't thank you enough for watching my video and subscribing and commenting and personal messaging me. It's just been really fun. It's just fun talking to you guys and fun getting to know everybody a little bit more than just talking on Facebook through comments. So thank you guys so much, and check down below in my description. I'll put as many links as I can for what I talked about today, and with all the sales and the different Flosstubers or whatever. And yeah, but thank you guys so much. Subscribe, share, and I will see you guys next time. Happy Valentine's Day.